Hey ladies and gentlemen, Steven here from Redolessence. Welcome back to another video. Here is a fragrance that I picked up within the past month. It's one that I've been meaning to get for a while now. It actually came out in 2019. And if you follow my channel, you know how much I love Un Jardin Sur La Lagune by Hermes. This is one called Un Jardin Sur La Lagune. I'm excited to give you my thoughts on this one, so make sure to stay tuned. Now, before I begin my fragrance review of Un Jardin Sur La Lagune by Hermes, I do want to mention that if you are a fan of fragrance-related content, if you like fragrance reviews here on YouTube, but also top 10 videos, giveaways, unboxings, and more, please do consider supporting this channel by subscribing to it. All you have to do is click on that red button in the corner. And of course, while you're at it, please be sure to enable notifications by clicking on the bell icon as well. Now, before I dive into this review, I do want to mention that if you are interested in getting this fragrance, this size actually, for a really good price, you may do so at maxaroma.com. It's in the vein of 40 bucks. I'm going to leave all of the information down below. I love using Max Aroma personally. I've done an event there. I've often visit Max Aroma when I'm in the area. A lot of really hard to find designer and niche fragrances for a really, really good price. And so I'm a huge fan of Hermes. I have many of their fragrances, including Voyage, including Terre d'Hermes, including Un Jardin Sur La Lagune, Sur La Toile, and then of course here we have Sur La Lagune. I even purchased the new H24 this year, which I find to be a great fragrance. Now, the thing that makes this one stand apart is that this is a little bit more on the floral side. When we're talking about Sur La Lagune, it has the mango, it has the tomato leaf note. This one is all about magnolia. So it has magnolia, a floral ingredient called pittosporum, also known as cheesewood, which is said to have kind of like this spicy, waxy floral aroma. And then the magnolia itself has a waxy, lemony smell. And lily, we can say the same thing about that too. So there's lily in here that gives off kind of like a light, clean, jasmine-y aroma. And this fragrance was inspired by a garden that was built by an English lord hidden in a lagoon in Venice. And so kind of an interesting story. I've personally never been to Venice, although I have been to Italy. I'm really excited to give you my thoughts on the smell. Let's start things off with the presentation. So in the opening of this fragrance, you are going to get this natural smelling, clean, smooth, peaceful, tranquil floral vibe. And of course, it's coming from the cheesewood or the pittosporum. It's coming from the lily, and predominantly it's coming from the magnolia in here. Now, I'm not a huge fan of floral perfumes. Anybody who watches my channel knows that. I like my iris, I love rose, I love heliotrope, and I can get away with orange blossom from time to time, depending on how it's done. If it's a sweeter variety, I really enjoy it. This perfume has really opened up my eyes and my nostrils to the note of magnolia. And it's shown me that this is one of those floral ingredients that I really, really like, just because it conveys a sense of serenity. It conveys a sense of peacefulness. And I really love the peace that is being conveyed in here. It's very soft, it's subtle, it's tranquil, and there's this very grounding element about it. And so you are going to get nuances of like orange or orange blossom from this fragrance. You're also going to get this waxy sort of lemony aroma from the fragrance as well, but you're going to get this cleanliness that seems to come through from the very beginning, even 5-6 hours later, as the fragrance has really worn and developed on skin. And I think that's one of the reasons why I really appreciate this fragrance, because it's not overly loud or in your face like some other heady floral fragrances have a tendency of doing. So for example, freesia and narcissus, I'm not a fan of those ingredients. Ylang ylang needs to be done right, but the magnolia in this fragrance is very peaceful and it's very clean smelling. Now, it's not all about that. You have some aquatic notes, you have some ozonic elements, you have some woodsy nuances, even a touch of salt in the background. And I love the feeling of just experiencing these tranquil waves on the beach during sunset in an exotic location, be it Venice or the Caribbean or wherever you want to be transported in your mind. And I love that it sort of has this vacation atmosphere about it. And I'm actually really glad that I discovered this fragrance because I am starting to retire Un Jardin Sur La Lagune, as much as I don't want to, but I know eventually I'm going to get a bottle of that as well. But it's one of these fragrances where now I am looking forward to wearing it in place of Un Jardin Sur La Lagune, just so that I can create new memories with it. And so I've been wanting to review this one for a while. I know it's been around since 2019. Christine Nagel is a perfumer for this one, and obviously she's the new in-house perfumer for Hermes. Of course, I love the work of Jean-Claude Ellena, but Christine Nagel is such an amazing and such an accomplished perfumer as well. And so Hermes has a lot of fragrances that are so easy to wear. They're kind of transparent. They have this interplay between the aquatic elements and the floral elements. And of course, this is another one to add to the list, but this is one that I feel does things in a very special way. And so I'm glad to have this one. Once again, if you are interested in picking this one up or sampling it, you may do so at Max Aroma. All of the information is going to be down below. Let's go ahead and finish things off with my overall assessment. So first up, in terms of the uniqueness and the overall smell, I must admit that magnolia is one of these floral ingredients that I didn't have a whole lot of experience with, just because you're not going to find it too often in men's fragrances. But now that I've gotten my nose and my hands on this bottle, I am so happy that I did, because I personally find it to be very serene and I love wearing this one. And it really transports me to a tropical location and it puts me in that sort of holiday/vacation mindset, and I always love that. It just calms the soul very nicely. Overall smell is very appealing. I can even see this one landing you a few compliments just because it comes across smelling very clean, very well groomed. Longevity on this one is about 7 hours on your skin. Keep in mind that the floral and citrus elements are really going to be the strongest elements of this fragrance within the first hour or so, and then it's all about the magnolia and the lily and some of those woodsy elements, maybe a little driftwood, because it does come across smelling a little salty, a little oceanic in the base, and that assists in putting you in that vacation mindset that I spoke about earlier. Projection is going to be great for the first hour and a half of application. I don't think it ever really radiated beyond an arm's length, but the projection is pretty consistent. It didn't start to sit closer to the skin until about that 5.5 hour mark, and then at that 7 hour mark, I think is really where you need to reapply. In terms of versatility, incredibly versatile. I can see this one being worn comfortably in every season except for the winter time. I think just because of the floral, the citrus, and the aquatic elements, one would feel inclined to wear this one in the hotter weather, specifically the summertime, of course, especially if you're going on vacation during the summer. I think this one can be worn casually because of the affordability. It can also be worn formally because of the overall aroma and aura that it conveys. And I can see this being perfectly unisex, anybody of any age enjoying this one. And in terms of the presentation, I always like the graphics that are found on the box. And in terms of the coloration of the bottle, I think the orange on this one, for some reason, synesthetically, it kind of suits the smell. It's hard to explain, but I really do like it. My final verdict on this fragrance is, if you are interested in exploring a type of smell that you're perhaps not too familiar with, or going down a path of a fragrance DNA that is quite different from others that you may have experienced. If you're like me and you didn't smell a whole lot of magnolia fragrances out there, I would really recommend that you try Un Jardin Sur La Lagune by Hermes. I think it's a great vacation scent and one that I see myself wearing a lot more in the coming months. So there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much for joining me today. I really do appreciate your time and your viewership. It means a lot. If you're new to this channel and you took something of value from this video, please do consider supporting this channel by subscribing to it. If this video brought you any value, make sure to leave a like down below. And if you are interested in sampling or purchasing this fragrance, you may do so at maxaroma.com. All of the information is going to be down below. And I'm also going to leave links to other Hermes products that you can find at Max Aroma down below as well. Thanks again for watching. Love you all, and we'll see you soon. Bye.